If you have ever found yourself tossing and turning and counting sheep, unable to sleep, I can tell you from first-hand experience, you are not alone. In her new piece for The Atlantic titled American Insomnia, staff writer Jennifer Senior writes in part, "The cadences of modern life have proved inimical to sleep. For white-collar professionals, it's hard to imagine a job without the woodpecker incursions of email or weekend and late-night work. It's hard to imagine children eschewing social media when it's how so many of them socialize, often into the night. Most of us can certainly do more to improve or reclaim our sleep. But behavioral change is difficult, as anyone who's vowed to lose weight can attest. And when the conversation around sleep shifts the onus to the individual, which, let's face it, is the American way, we sidestep the fact that the public and private sectors alike are barely doing a thing to address what is essentially a national health emergency." And Jennifer joins us now. So how bad is it, Jennifer? How much sleep are we missing out on, and what's the problem that it's causing?
Well, a lot. I think the numbers currently are that 30 to 35% of Americans suffer from insomnia or some of its symptoms some of the time. 12 to 15%, 15% for sure if you're a millennial, experience insomnia chronically as a really intractable problem. So here's the thing. I will tell you all the kinds of consequences there are, and there are many. But one of the things I wanted to do in my story was not write another big, scary sleep story, because everyone who doesn't sleep walks around with this kind of multi-volume compendium of all the things that can go wrong when you do not sleep. People know, oh, I could stroke out more, if I got more sleep. I'd stand a lower risk. I could dement. I could, the ramparts of my immune system could crumble. There are all sorts of downstream consequences. The question is how fixable this is, given the cadences of our modern life. Thank you for reading that part aloud. And also the fact that some people are just, this is a problem. This is like a biological, it's either a psychological problem that became a biological problem, or it's a biological problem to start. So I wanted to write a gentler, less reproachful piece about this, and one that sort of debunked myths.
Hi, Jennifer, it's Molly John Fast. Hi. How are you? I'm wondering if you could talk. So I've had throughout my life insomnia, but my sort of most pronounced bout of insomnia was when I was a little kid, when my parents got divorced. Now I sleep extremely well. I wonder how much sort of emotional upheaval can be tied to not sleeping.
It's a great question, and often this is part of one model there. One of I think the dominant model, which is that there's sort of a trigger that start, right? A precipitating factor, and then a perpetuating factor, and then something else. It's the 3 Ps. And you have a precipitating factor, right? Your parents split up, and it creates an upset for you. There are people for whom the precipitating factors are mysterious, or at a certain point, it doesn't even matter what it is, because fear of not sleeping becomes its own problem. Once you've sort of gone off the rails, there's a certain group of people, particularly if they're more prone to anxiety, who it doesn't matter if the problem's been solved. Now they think, oh my God, my body has learned a new trick. So I'm not going to fall asleep. And then they start doing insomnia math. Oh my God, it's been 5 hours. Oh wait, it's been 4. Oh no, it's been 3, etc. But to answer your question, of course, emotional upheavals can play a huge role, and the resolution of them can sometimes be salubrious. Sometimes.
Yeah. Jennifer, the precipitating factor in my sleep problems happens to be the show we're both doing right now, so I will not throw anyone under the bus. But the math question I have for you is around the magic number of 8. 8 hours of sleep is what I was raised on. I believe our country has been raised on it. What is the reality of the number 8?
How much do I love you for asking me that? Oh my God, do I land a hammer so hard on that question? I asked every single expert I spoke to. Didn't matter what they did for a living. Were they an epidemiologist? Were they a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a neurologist? How many hours do we need? Or, I didn't even ask them that. I said, what's the biggest dogma about sleep that you would like to debunk? And almost all of them, to a person, said that you need 8 hours. Number one, it varies from person to person. Duh, we know that. But number two, what's really interesting is that one of the kind of canonical studies out there says actually 6.5 to 7.4 is the sweet spot. Also, so, but this also, over the course of a lifetime, you're going to get less sleep. Older people sleep less. They tend to sleep a more broken sleep, and then they run into a sleep clinic. And it's a tyranny. They hear, 8 hours is what they're supposed to get. And the doctors look at them and say, at 75, I'm sorry. No, you're not supposed to get 8 hours. I can't make you the way you once were. So I think that these are really important because that alone can be a source of anxiety as you're trying to fall asleep. Oh, I need 8 hours. What if 6.5 is okay? What if that's fine?
Wow. Yeah, I love 8
For you.
myself, but there we go. I love 8. I'll settle for 7. Thank you so much for writing it. The new piece is available to read online now. Staff writer at The Atlantic, Jennifer Senior. Thanks so much for coming in to talk about it.
Thanks for having
And coming
me.
up next.